So today, I've got a story for you that sounds like it's ripped straight out of a Hollywood script. But I swear on my old John Deere tractor, it's 100% true. Some people have the sheer nerve, the absolute audacity, and this tale still makes my jaw drop every time I think about it. I live out on the edge of a sleepy little town, the kind of place where the loudest noise is the wind rustling through the fields, or maybe a cow mooing in the distance. It's peaceful, quiet, and exactly where I've always wanted to be. A few years back, I bought this big old farm sprawling fields, a creaky but charming farmhouse, a barn that's seen better days, the whole 9 yards. But I didn't stop there. Over time, I bought up every single lot around me, all 8 of them, right up to the county road, the entire block, paid off in full, deeds in my name, no liens, no strings, no nothing, just pure, unadulterated freedom. That's what I was after, and that's what I got now. I'm not one of those folks who just sits on their land and lets it go to seed. I'm out there every day, working the fields, fixing fences, tending to the animals. It's hard work, but it's honest and it's mine. So, picture this. It's a crisp morning, the kind where the air smells like fresh dew and the sun's just starting to warm the ground. I'm out by the back pasture, covered in dirt, wrestling with a stubborn fence post that's decided it doesn't want to stay upright. The tractor's humming nearby, my thermos of coffee sitting on a stump, and I'm in my zone. That's when I hear the crunch of gravel in my driveway. I look up, and there's this shiny black pickup truck, pulling in, all polished like it just rolled off a car lot. Out step the people, and I swear, they look like they walked straight out of a corporate boardroom and got lost on their way to a PowerPoint presentation. There's a guy, mid-40s maybe, wearing a polo shirt tucked into khakis, holding a clipboard like it's a badge of honor. And then there's this woman, decked out in a massive sun hat so big it could probably block a solar eclipse. She's got sunglasses perched on her nose, the kind that scream I'm important. And she's striding toward me like she owns the place. No hello, no good morning, not even a wave. She just plants herself in front of me, hands on her hips, and says, "You're in violation of the Green Valley Homeowners Association's fencing regulations." I'm standing there, sweaty, holding a sledgehammer, with the fence post half in the ground, and I just blink at her. I mean, what do you even say to that? I laugh not out of rudeness. Mind you, just pure, unfiltered confusion. What HOA? I ask, wiping the dirt off my hands. She doesn't miss a beat. The Green Valley HOA, she says, like it's the most obvious thing in the world. Your fence is non-compliant with our aesthetic standards. It's the wrong height, the wrong color, and frankly, it's an eyesore. Now, let me paint you a picture of this fence. It's a simple wooden split rail, the kind you see on every farm out here. It's sturdy, it keeps the cows in, and it's been there since I bought the place. It's not winning any beauty contests, but it's not exactly a junkyard either. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, so I say, "Ma'am, I'm not part of any HOA. I checked that when I bought this land, and even if I was, I own every lot on this block, all 8 of them. There's no neighbors to complain about my fence or anything else. You'd think that it'd stop her, right? Nope. She just purses her lips, adjusts her sunglasses, and says, 'This property falls under our jurisdiction, and you have 48 hours to bring your fence into compliance or you'll face fines and further enforcement action.' The guy with the clipboard is just nodding along, scribbling something like he's writing me up for a parking ticket. I'm still half laughing, half baffled. But I figured there's no point arguing with someone who's clearly made up their mind. So I just shrug and say, 'Do what you gotta do.' They turn on their heels, climb back into their shiny truck, and drive off, leaving me standing there wondering if I just hallucinated the whole thing. Now, I'm not one to let things like this slide. I've been around long enough to know you don't just take someone's word for it when they start throwing around words like jurisdiction and enforcement. So that evening, I pull out all my paperwork. I've got a filing cabinet in the house stuffed with every document related to this farm deeds, surveys, tax records, you name it. I bought this place free and clear, and I made Astor's Pandora's box to open it. No HOA, no covenants, no restrictions. I own the whole block, so there's no one to answer to but me. I double-check everything just to be sure, and it's all in order. I'm not in any HOA, and I've got the papers to prove it, feeling pretty confident. I put the paperwork away, pour myself a glass of sweet tea, and figure that's the end of it. 2 days later, I'm out in the barn mucking stalls when I hear another vehicle coming down the driveway. This time, it's a county sheriff's car. My stomach does a little flip, not because I'm worried, but because I'm starting to wonder how far this HOA nonsense is gonna go. The deputies step out, and here's where things get interesting. One of them is a guy I know, Tom, a good old boy I've shared a beer with at the local diner a few times. He's got the sheepish look on his face as he walks up. "Hey, man," he says. "This is about that HOA complaint, right?" I told them this ain't HOA land, but they insisted we come out. I invite him as partner inside, offer them some coffee, and pull out the paperwork. I show them the deeds, the property lines, the surveys, everything. Tom takes one look and starts laughing. "This is a damn waste of time." He says, "You're not under any HOA. I'll file the report and tell them to back off." His partner, a younger guy who's clearly new to the job, looks over the documents and nods. Looks airtight to me. He says, they finish their coffee, thank me, and head out. I figure that's gotta be the end of it, right? Wrong. Over the next week, I start getting letters in the mail, official-looking ones on Green Valley HOA letterhead, demanding I repaint my fence, lower its height, and submit to an inspection. I'm starting to get annoyed now. This isn't just a misunderstanding. It's harassment. I call up my lawyer, a no-nonsense woman named Linda, who's been handling my family's legal stuff for years. I send her the letters, the deeds, everything. She takes one look and says, "This is ridiculous. They have no authority over you. I'll handle it." She drafts a cease and desist letter, sharp as a razor, and sends it off. After that, the letters stop. Silence. Sweet, beautiful silence. You'd think the story ends there, wouldn't you? Oh, no. About a month later, I'm at the feed store in town, chatting with the owner, when he mentions something that makes my ears perk up. Apparently, the woman with the eclipse-sized hat, she's not even an official member of the Green Valley HOA, turns out. She applied to be on their board a while back, got rejected, and decided to take matters into her own hands. She went rogue, pretending to be an HOA enforcer, driving around with her clipboard-toting sidekick, trying to boss people around on property she had no claim over. I couldn't believe it. This wasn't just some overzealous busybody. This was a full-on power-hungry wannabe playing dictator in a neighborhood she didn't even run. I spent the next few days digging a little deeper, mostly out of curiosity. I talked to a few folks in town, and apparently, I wasn't the only one she'd tried this on. She'd been hassling other landowners, especially new folks or people with big properties, claiming their barns were non-compliant or their trees were obstructing views. Most people just ignored her, but a few got scared and actually made changes to their property before realizing she had no authority. I felt a mix of anger and amusement. Anger because she was bullying people who didn't know better, and amusement because, well, she picked the wrong guy to mess with this time. Now, let's talk about the aftermath. I didn't hear from Hat Lady again, but I made a point to spread the word around town. I told my neighbors, the folks at the diner, even the guy who fixes my tractor. I wanted everyone to know about this fake HOA nonsense so no one else would get duped. I also tightened up my own security, not because I was worried about her coming back, but because I realized how easy it is for someone to waltz onto your property and start making demands if you're not prepared. I put up a few no trespassing signs just to make things crystal clear, and I started keeping my gates locked when I'm not around. Better safe than sorry, right? Reflecting on the whole thing, I realized this wasn't just about a fence or a fake HOA. It was about someone trying to control something that wasn't theirs to control. I've always believed in live and let live, but some folks just can't help themselves. They see a big piece of land, a nice farm, and they think they can throw their weight around. Well, not on my watch. I worked hard for this place, paid every dime I owed, and I'm not about to let some clipboard warrior tell me how to run my own property. And the kicker? I found out later that the Green Valley HOA doesn't even enforce fences. Their rules are mostly about house colors and lawn ornaments. My split rail fence wouldn't have been an issue even if I was under their jurisdiction, which I'm not. So, what's the moral of this story? Do your homework. Know your rights. Check your deeds, your surveys, your local laws. Don't let someone bully you into thinking they have power over you when they don't. And if you're ever in doubt, get a lawyer like Linda who'll shut things down faster than you can say cease and desist. Oh, and one more thing, if you're watching this, Hat Lady, stay the hell off my farm. I've got better things to do than deal with your nonsense, like fixing fences and drinking my coffee in peace. This whole ordeal taught me something else. 2. You can't assume everyone who shows up with a clipboard knows what they're talking about. People will try to pull fast ones, especially if they think you're an easy mark. I've been on this land long enough to know that freedom isn't just about owning property. It's about protecting it, and I'll be damned if I let anyone, HOA or not, mess with what's mine. So here's my advice to you. If you've got a piece of land, a home, or anything you've worked hard for, guard it. Know your boundaries, literally and figuratively. And don't be afraid to stand your ground, because sometimes that's what it takes to keep what's yours. Now, I'm not saying this to scare anyone. Most folks out here are good people, live and let live types. But every now and then, you get a hat lady. Someone who thinks they can run the show just because they've got a fancy truck and a superiority complex. When that happens, you've got to be ready. For me, it was a simple fix paperwork, a lawyer, and a little persistence. But it could have gone differently if I hadn't known my rights. I could have been one of those folks who painted their fence or paid a fine just to make the problem go away. And that's what people like her count on: confusion and compliance. I've been thinking about this a lot since it happened. It's not just about my farm or my fence. It's about the bigger picture. We live in a world where people sometimes try to control things that don't belong to them: your land, your choices, your life. And it's not always as obvious as a woman with a giant hat and a fake HOA badge. Sometimes it's subtle, like a rule you didn't know about or a form you didn't read closely enough. That's why I keep going back to that moral. Do your homework. It's not just about property lines. It's about knowing where you stand in every sense of the word. Since this all went down, I made it a habit to check in with my neighbors more often. Not because I'm nosy, but because I want to make sure no one else is dealing with this kind of nonsense. I've even started a little informal group at the diner where we swap stories and tips about property rights, local laws, and dealing with busybodies. It's turned into a bit of a community thing, and I'm proud of that. If Hat Lady did one good thing, it was reminding me how important it is to look out for each other, especially out here where the nearest neighbor might be a mile away. I also took a long look at my farm after this. I've always loved this place, but this whole mess made me appreciate it even more. Every fence post, every blade of grass, every creaky floorboard in the house is mine, and I earned it. I spent years saving up, working overtime, making sacrifices to buy this land and make it my own. And no one, not even a self-appointed HOA tyrant, is going to take that away from me. I've got plans to keep improving the place, maybe fix up the barn, plant some more trees, maybe even get a few more cows. But whatever I do, it'll be on my terms, not someone else's. Looking back, I can laugh about it now. The image of that woman standing in my driveway, acting like she owned the place, is almost comical. But at the time, it was infuriating. Not because of the fence, I could paint it if I wanted to, but because of the principle. This is my home, my sanctuary, my slice of the world, and I'll protect it with everything I've got. So, to anyone out there dealing with their own version of Hat Lady, here's my advice. Don't back down. Get your facts straight. Stand your ground, and don't let anyone push you around on your own turf. And if you're ever in my neck of the woods, stop by for a coffee. I'll tell you the story in person, and maybe we'll have a laugh about the time I shut down a fake HOA.